before me. So I started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about that glory.
So this is gonna be our door sign. This is my wife's request from me. I did some collapsible baskets with my daughter, and I got this idea. I'm sure somebody else has done this before, but the way I figured this out was from the collapsible baskets I did with my daughter. I'll show you one. Like this one. You cut it at an angle. For example, these here I did at 8 degrees. This wood's not so thick. These I'm only doing at 5 degrees. But you can push them out to the top, but if you push them down, since they're cut at an angle, I don't know if you can see that, they won't come out. So by scroll saw, I can tilt my table to the left. I can't tilt it to the right. I don't know if you can even buy scroll saws that you can tilt to the right, but my table only tilts to the left. If I tilt my table to the left, and I start, for example, here, and I go clockwise around. For these collapsible baskets, you gotta do these in a spiral so that they all stay in one piece, and sometimes they break like here. But if I go clockwise, then I can push down to the bottom. So if I go counterclockwise like I did on this one, I did this also for my last weekend. We built a bed for my dog, our dog. Let me see here, like this. I did this one counterclockwise, and I can push the letters up to the top. And they'll stop and they'll stay in. I'm going to glue them anyway, though. If you push them hard enough, they'll actually stay in there. And then here in between, I started another hole, and then I did that one clockwise, so that I can push that one down so that they stay about even. Here for the outside and the inside. So I started this with my daughter this morning, but my scroll saw broke, and I spent the whole morning fixing it and trying to rig it together to get it to work again. And now they're at this Fasching thing, which is the German version of Halloween. So I'm going to start doing the small letters, and I'm going to save the big ones for my daughter because she can do them good, but the small ones are kind of hard to do. So I started all my little starter holes. You got to drill a hole through it so you can stick your blade through it. That's a good thing about scroll saws. You can take the blade out, and it's not like a bandsaw. A bandsaw, you can't do this. The bandsaw's all one blade. It's like one complete blade. You can't, you got to cut through. You can't cut inside. With a scroll saw, you can loosen your blade on top of the bottom and stick your blade down through it, and then you can cut inside. So I did all my holes, and I've been doing all my holes in sharp corners because I'm not good at sharp corners yet. This is actually kind of new for me. I haven't done this too many times. Scroll saw, I just bought this 2 months ago. So I got all my holes on my inside lines. I'm going to do all these clockwise, and on the outside of the letters, they're all going to be counterclockwise so that they come up and the holes in the middle go down. I was using these, I think these were 9s. Number 9 blades, but I think they're a little bit too big for the small letters. These small letters, these blades, I don't know if you can see that very good, they cut a little bit too much out. So I'm gonna try a different blade. I have, these were 9s, and then I have, what are these? These are 5s, but I think these are going to be too fine. These are the ones I like, the 5s. But the teeth are too fine. I don't think it's going to cut this thick wood. So I'm going to try a number 7 now. See how that works.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger. pushing each other to the limits. We were learning quicker. By 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Never rich, so we were out to make that steady figure. Once I was 11 years old, my daddy told me, go get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely. Once I was 11 years old. Always had that dream like my daddy before me. So I started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about that glory just always seemed to bore me. Cause only those I really love will ever really know me. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told before the morning sun when life was lonely. Once I was 20 years old. Only see my goals, I don't believe in failure. Cause I know the smallest voices, they can make it major. I got my boys with me, at least those in favor. And if we don't meet before I leave, I hope I'll see you later. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told. I was writing about everything I saw before.
Now I got this blade and I'm gonna go ahead and do all these small holes with this small blade. It worked pretty good. I like how it can cut real tight corners.
Before me, once I was 20 years old. Soon we'll be 30 years old. Our songs have been sold. We've traveled around the world and we're still roaming. Soon we'll be 30 years old.
These little number 3s, they're good. I like them. Really nice and flexible. You can really sharp corners with them. They're pretty good, these number 3s. But I think it has a lot to do with the wood too. If the wood's hard, if the wood's thick, if it's thin. This wood here, I got, it's almost 3/4 of an inch. And this wood, I think it's called Limba. The guy, one day I'm going to make a video explaining my whole story with the kids and everything. But the short story is, I'm from America. My wife is German, half German, half American. Her father is American. He was in the army, and he lives here, but he's from the same town as me. And him and my dad were really close. So I met my wife a long time ago, but only every 5 years for about 3 months. She came one time, we got married, had a kid, and we moved to Germany, and we've been here for 7 years now. And yeah, that's how I ended up here. So now back to the wood. I bought this house. Me and my wife bought this house I think about 3 or 4 years ago. And the guy that used to own this house, he was actually a shoe guy. He made shoes or fixed shoes or something like that. He did something with shoes. And this was his hobby, like it is mine. And he bought this wood. I don't think this is Limba. I'm not sure. Wait a second. This is Limba. I don't know if it's the same. I don't think it's the same wood. But this here is already.
Ali,
Turn the camera on. So I started cutting out most of it, okay? I got most of it cut out already. Now we're gonna do here. Alright? Be very slow. Very careful. I'm gonna help you with this, okay? Turn it on when you're ready. Are you up too high? Turn it on when you're ready. Get your hair back.
I'm still learning about life. My woman brought children for me, so I can sing them all my songs and I can tell them stories. Most of my boys are with me, some are still out seeking glory.
See how I did that? I made like a little hole, and then I turned around inside that hole.
Seeking glory, and some I had to leave behind. My brother, I'm still sorry. Soon I'll be 60 years old. My daddy got 61. Remember life, and then your life becomes a better one. I made a man so happy when I wrote a letter once. I hope my children come and visit once or twice a month. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold, or will I have a lot of children who can bore me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold, or will I have a lot of children who can bore me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Once I was 7 years old. Mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. Once I was 7 years old.